Alright, hello and welcome to my first video from the early access. I am intending on doing sort of a campaign, like just a playthrough, and just talk about what I'm doing along the way. In the beginning, I'm not going to do like a real tutorial video. I'll do that later. First, I think it's important that we get some overview and some strategic advice out to everyone. So we're going to go through a campaign and just going to get it started. I like to choose this one first because I like the reconnaissance it gives, and you need the army organization anyway. And here you can get the reconnaissance you need to get the blue bar, and logistics is fine too. And then here I just like to go for politics and economy because the politics is nice, so I'm going for that. We're going to start with union, and we're going to choose the normal difficulty, and this is my name. I'm going to use the advisor, so this gives us the 4 points for reconnaissance as mentioned, and then the other stats look like this. Okay, let's get to it. So we need to secure the city, and then the Confederates will counterattack. And this is our starting force, and we're just gonna get started here. So we're gonna move these up here, and we're gonna use Sook here to chase down the skirmishers on the right. Now I like to use the speed up button a lot, but you don't have to. It's just don't want to. Yeah, it will take longer otherwise. Right. So let's see if we can find some enemy skirmishers here. There's the first one. Just gonna keep the ones occupied here on the left until the cavalry shows up on the right, or on the left, sorry. And we're gonna use Sook here to chase down these skirmishers here. The fall back and sort of chase them into range, we can counter charge, and let's see if we can get Sook to charge as well, and then we can catch him like that. Okay, so this is sort of an easy way to dispatch of the skirmishers on the right, and then we can just have Sook move towards the city. Okay, there we go. We can have these guys move up behind him too, and we might as well move the general to support over here. Just need to avoid having Schaefer destroyed completely over here. This is actually still on double speed, if you think it's going a bit fast. Okay, here's the reinforcements, and we're just gonna move towards the city and use the cavalry here to knock out the skirmishers. We're gonna try and catch them in the same way as we did before. Move towards the city. This is right click, by the way. Not that this is a real tutorial on the controls, but since we're at it anyway, and we can move the cannons up in the same way. I'm gonna use them in for close support and just knock McHenry out of the city here. Okay, let's see if we can catch some skirmishers here. It's best to catch them on the flank because otherwise they can do more damage to you, so we're gonna engage still here. See if we can get closer. Okay. See, that way we can dispatch this guy by overwhelming him with numbers, while the other one is sort of pacified in the rear. Not the general. So this way we can like Sook rest a little bit as well. Okay, let's see if we can chase down the other skirmisher unit. Okay, apparently we're already in range here with Sook, so we might as well just engage. Gonna have the reinforcements move up slowly anyway. Gonna just draw the fire with Schaefer here and then move the cavalry in afterwards. I have a cooldown on the charge here, but it should be fine. Just make sure we come in from the flank. That's the most important part. Let's see if it's... There we go. And this way we can knock this skirmish unit out of the action as well. Okay, let's just make sure we don't want to get our cannons too close here. So this is sort of an easy way to deal with the skirmishers. I mean, if you don't aggressively move down on them like this, they can fall back forever and just be a real pain in... Yeah, a real pain. So let's see if we can get these guys closer here. What we want to do is just make sure he has something to shoot at, and then we can move in closer with the rest of our units. I think we're gonna do a charge. Not with this actually, just gonna have him shoot. Okay, so this way we can see if we can knock McHenry out of the battle as well. Quickly and efficiently. He's surrounded now, almost anyway. I find this is the best way to deal with him. He might escape across the river, we'll see. If you want to take longer, you can use your artillery to just sort of pound him out of the city. But this went by without taking too many casualties. He seems to have a lot of cover in the city here. Let's see if we can charge again here. I think Suk is too tired to charge, which is why he stopped along the way. We used Walton to knock him out of the game. Not sure we can make him surrender though like this. He needs to be more surrounded, but yeah. Okay, we can already start ordering the cannons up here. McHenry is almost as good as gone here. Just gonna give him some last volleys here. See if we can prevent him from crossing the river. Feels slightly bad for these poor Confederates here. They would probably be better off if they surrendered, but yeah. That's war for you. Okay, and he's gone. Okay, let's stop Suk here, Walton here, and this guy is still relatively fresh, so we're gonna move him up first. It's important here for me anyway to have the cannons in place because they'll do good morale damage on Law. So we're gonna fall back a little bit perhaps here. Get the cannons up, and then we can also shoot at Davis. Nah, he has a little too much range over there. Get over here to safety. Still within range, huh? Okay then, should be safe here then. We're gonna try doing basically the same thing as we did before with the other brigades. Like the brigades in the city here and the skirmishers. He's gonna try to overwhelm them with numbers. So he might do more damage to one brigade than the brigade does in return, but yeah, he'll be able to shoot more. And we want to shoot at Davis here. The canister fire can be a little nasty across the bridge here since it's so narrow. But first we just want to do some damage to Law here, so we can do quite a bit of damage since we have so many brigades shooting at him. And I also want Bristol ready to cross the river as soon as Law starts falling back. That way we can get to Davis fast, maybe, and we can get around the flanks if he starts recovering or Root decides to move into support. It's gonna get extra close in to do the damage here. Yeah, you really have to be careful because they have a slightly longer range than you might think, shooting from fortifications like that. I think normally this is a bit easier not having my cannons close enough. You can always have your cannons closer once you've engaged. My mistake was to make this guy shoot at me. Yeah, so that's how it works. Sometimes you do mistakes, but finally we get Law to fall back and see if we can finally cross this river. Still have plenty of time, so I mean, you don't have to rush things in this game. I'm playing slightly impatiently to get things going, but you can take your time and just bombard Law. You can even move a cannon battery up here to shoot into the flanks of the city if you want to take the time to cross here and get it here, up here. Come on, Law, just break. I'm gonna shoot at Davis here to see if we can't stop him from shooting back. Okay, this city should be more or less mine by now. Just need to really just cross the river and push Law back the final moment here. Gotta move Bristow, then we can flank Law and make sure he really breaks. Moving towards the city here. Gonna silence these two. Root here won't participate in the next battle anyway, so we don't have to destroy him and waste supplies on him. Yes, we actually already secured the city from here. Now we just need to hold on for the 20 minutes given. Try not to lose too many men doing it. See if we can make Law fall back here. Okay, all my units are really exhausted by now, which is why they're not doing too well. But I only have to hold on for another 5 minutes and then they can rest a bit. Okay, here we go. So they're gonna counterattack from, I guess, from these two directions and from here. And we get reinforcements coming from south of the city. I'm gonna start out by just discussing this position a bit first. Gonna pause it. So what I found usually is this parameter here is almost impossible to defend. It's too long. There's a gap here. So if you choose to move a brigade here to plug it, the center is open, and yeah, I don't feel like you have enough men to defend this flank or this perimeter here. And also the train will come in here, and Walton will be in a lot of trouble. So what I like to do is actually just move into the city here, and you can combine division and then put these two units together to sort of create a stronger brigade to hold this. And we can also detach some skirmishers, which I like to hold out or send out to sort of distract the enemy before our reinforcements get here. So we're going to send out all the skirmishers. Actually, this guy goes over here, and okay, the cavalry seem to be gone, unfortunately. So we should be okay with it anyway. Ah, he's here. Sorry. And we'll move Woods into safety here. From here, he can be protected by the entrenched brigade in the city, and in this way, yeah, he can shoot at the train coming in. So that's what the plan is. In scales, we'll just move him slightly back here to not be too exposed. With I realize the center here is open, but we'll use the skirmishers to cover this when they fall back, and hopefully we can distract the brigades coming in from over here enough to hold out over here until the reinforcements get here. So that's the plan. It can be a bit tricky to click on this shield here. There we go. And Wheeler is coming in, but Sook here is, or Sook skirmishers anyway, is in good cover, and we can use the multiple units we have to sort of distract him a little. Best thing you can do is if you can get these two separated, and then you can destroy the skirmishers with your cavalry, but I'm not sure we'll manage to do that here. Most important bit is just to keep the enemy units occupied until your reinforcements get here, at which point you can defend the city properly. So I'm doing like a continuous stream of fallback and move back instantly, so to give the brigade too many targets to shoot at, so he can't just focus on one. And we're gonna see if we can distract Perrin here. I might sacrifice Schaefer here, see if we can get Perrin to follow him. And this doesn't really look viable to hold back, so we're just gonna fall back Loomis skirmishers here. Okay, and Stockton is getting very low on men. Keep an eye on this guy. Ah, he got caught, unfortunately. Still buys us a few minutes where Parrot here is chasing down Schaefer and maybe getting slightly tired, and Perrin here is also waiting. They deployed skirmishers and everything to keep it going. So see if we can shoot at the cavalry a bit here. Click and bait, right? So, and I'm gonna fall back here, and our reinforcements are here. Okay, so I like to just click on here, have them run into the city at the most critical points. Oops, let's see, which one did we get? This one is not in the city yet. Okay, I think that, did I give orders to all of them? I think they used to have an arrow when you clicked on them, but maybe not. Okay, and cannon here, and one more cannon here. Now we can fall back properly here. Also get another supply wagon. It's not, I guess supplies aren't a big issue here because we have supplies from the city, and we also have another supply wagon here. We're gonna keep distracting the AI, so he's coming harder in the center now. But Wagner here, the division commander, should be a rather formidable target now. He's a larger brigade than the AI ones. And the train is coming to. This is also where I like to have scaled here because he can shoot down the tracks. Gotta have Woods fall back slightly more just to make sure he's safe. I can hear the train coming. See, they're really trying to get to the center now. So I might actually just move Suk out here to sort of make sure I have a flank on them. Can have Stockton occupy the fortifications, and I wonder, yeah, we can have Loomis skirmishers occupy the city actually. So this is where I think this fortification here, if you use it, you will get overwhelmed now because the AI can have 4 brigades charge it outright, and you won't have much of a chance to hold him back. So I like falling back to the city instead. Yeah, it also looked like Wagner is scaring off these AI brigades from charging in too much. The AI personality can differ slightly, so sometimes they'll charge more, sometimes less. If they charge more here, they might be more successful. It's already coming in here. Gonna make sure we get flanks on charging brigades as soon as possible, and we want fire on this train here. And the Wagner can hold up. This is the most critical point, is where you have the train coming in. Okay, well, he already managed to route. Gonna move in for support here. Managed to route Wagner. Should be fine, but it's just a bit not what was planned anyway. See if we can get in from the flanks here. Really like to take out that train now. I think we might just combine. No, we're just gonna move up and shoot. Charge Grant here, he should be exhausted by now. He's done a lot of charging. Okay, always see if you can shoot into the flanks of units. Do more damage, and especially the morale damage is important. Finally, the train is retreating, so we can shoot at what's it called, scaled here. Come on, shoot. There we go. So now things have sort of stabilized, and need to use the cannons here to really put pressure on the air. And if I can just get scaled here to withdraw, it's happening now, then I think we should be fine. I'm gonna move in closer to put pressure on them. So a lot going on for a first battle in the unit, which can even be a bit tricky for someone. I mean, not meaning to be arrogant, but I mean someone like me who played this battle a lot, and it's been rather successful in the campaign. So you need to be aware of what's coming in at you, what to do with your forces, stuff like that. So I'm hoping this little video will help a little bit. Not sure I'll be talking in all the other videos. Not sure how much you get out of it. You can give me some feedback on that if you'd rather just want me to be quiet. Yeah, but feel free to give me some feedback on that. Otherwise, I hope you'll enjoy the tactical aspect of it. I don't think I did quite as good a job as I wanted to here. The AI didn't make it too easy for me, and I could have made some decisions earlier on to save my forces more from being completely exhausted while crossing the river here. But that's what you do in war. Sometimes you make rash decisions and then they will cost you later, right? And that's how this game works too. Try as hard as it can to simulate a real war where your decisions made early in the battle will affect your success later. We're just going to speed it up from here and let it end. Actually, I'm going to sort of game it a little bit and try to conserve the forces that I'll have later. So we're going to pull back Souk here, and Wagner is the combination of the brigades that I'll get later. And yeah, it's not something you have to think about really, but I like to do it just because I know I'll get the troops later. Also, scales here will be part of the campaign later. I should save the skirmishers here too before they're about to. You were mostly taking care of the AI forces. This bar is what you wouldn't have if you didn't have 4 in the reconnaissance from the start. You can always get it later, of course, but I like to have it in this battle to sort of see how well I'm doing, or how poorly for that matter. I'll just speed it up until the end. There's no reason to drag it out. Let's see if we can't get some closer cannon support. I'd like to just have the AI on its heels. Still being aggressive. That was not the plan. Got scales wounded in the process. So you really shouldn't make fast decisions like that. I had it on on fast and made a lot of mistakes because of it. Okay, then finally the AI is falling back. Okay, 16 game minutes left. And that should be it. Let's see what happens if we click finish here. So we were a bit outnumbered, but we managed to do almost 2-to-1 or more than 2-to-1 casualties actually. And you can see the kills here. Officers, we had scales wounded, and we captured some rifles. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.